Shadiversity is a guy on the internet. And he needs no introduction on this channel, obviously. Thank you, Shadiversity, for 10,000 follows. Shadiversity is an Australian political pundit and paper castle aficionado slash employee firer. And I haven't talked about him in a while, but I'm getting back into talking about all of the culture war grift shit. It's about to mutate. And this is a video that's a couple weeks old, but people have been recommending it to me for a while. And I'm finally getting to it, but it's urgent. Global free speech is under threat by Australian government. So I don't know how the fuck Australia's government, which is a pet to many other governments, is going to threaten my freedom of speech, much less that of any countries that don't even give a fuck about it. So I'm fascinated by the argument that he's about to present. And we're going to get into it. We're going to pop off here. And I'm very, 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 very excited. Shad, take it away. By the way, this is... I can't believe he's buying techwear from FA. This is just the most... I shopped on 4chan's fucking fashion board for some techwear ass coat I've ever seen. Blade Runner shit. I get it though.
The Australian Labor Party's proposed bill, which is the party that is currently in governmental power in Australia at the moment, headed by Anthony Albanese, entitled Combating Misinformation and Disinformation Bill. This is not only a massive threat to the freedom of speech of all Australians, it is a huge threat to all social media platforms if they comply. And the bill gives the Australian government leverage and legal kind of power to fine social media companies that do not comply to the arbitrary standards that it determines based on what they perceive as being harmful to the Australian people. If there is any misinformation put on any social media platform, doesn't matter if it comes from outside of Australia, from a person who isn't even Australian, if that content is accessible in Australia by Australians and is said or determined to pose a harm to the Australian people, this bill gives the Australian government power to enforce certain censorship standards and criteria on those social media platforms that
is he like is this thing actually about to go through and he's terrified? Because I've never heard him fucking like pause this much to explain. He seems like he's racking his brain to be accurate about this. This actually might be a real threat. This might be a real threat to old fucking Shaddy Poo. Oh, hold on. I'm moving this chair up a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm moving this chair up here a little bit. There we go. Fascinating. Also based Australia. Lies should not be legalized. Mass fraud and shit is crazy. Twitter is psychotic right now. I've never seen a worse platform in my life. It's actually like it's exceeded all possible expectations. Like the worst that Facebook was in 2016, Twitter is about 15 times as bad. The only reason it's not as irritating is I don't use Facebook anymore, and Twitter, you can't post as much shit. But also like most of the people that were irritating as fuck on 2015, 2016 Facebook are dead now because of COVID and old age. So like that's kind of wrapping itself up, so to say. But dude, Twitter has been a I feel like we're talking about Twitter. Twitter has been a fucking shithole. It's crazy enough, like fucking even like free speech freaks, like people that are hardcore for it because they need it to live. Like they need to be able to say almost anything that comes to mind to have a job. Keemstar is even like, hey, this is too much. Because basically fucking Twitter's moderation policy is basically if 4chan's random board randomly just suppressed fucking like libcuck fucking content, right? Like just all lefty shit. So it's just maximized like poll posting and like GIF posting. Dude, I swear to God, if you just go through the media tab, there is next to no difference between just scrolling any chunk of 4chan, even any 4chan red board, or GIF, like specifically. GIF is 4chan's like mobile board. That mobile board is nothing but pornography, gore videos, natsock, fucking fan cams, basically, and then like a few other fucking like actual like random shit. You know what I mean? Half the time that random shit's also just fucking like anime gore. Gore posting is fucking literally brain damaging to people. It's a cognito hazard. You shouldn't be watching people be fucking fed to meat grinders all day. Knockout videos is classic way to get the old racial tensions fired up. Elon loves that shit. That's actually, I think, specifically what fucking Keemstar was complaining about was gore videos and fight videos, like all the fucking time. Like you can't get on Twitter right now without seeing like a black guy cheating in a fist fight. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Black guy cheating in a fist fight videos. All over the place. Criminals being dealt with. This criminal thought that they were going to rob a car. Blah, 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 blah. Like, holy, what the fuck is this live leak ass shit on Twitter of all things? Much less just the raw ass lies. Just raw fucking lies from boosted and paid to post posters. You know what I mean? Like fucking Cat Turd and Posobiec's other account and Posobiec's other account, you know? The fucking like mistruths around North Carolina are fucking crazy right now. Like psychotic. There's people that are just basically ginning up an entire second reality. It's way worse than the fake news shit in 2015, but I don't think it has as much effect because everybody kind of knows that Elon Musk is doing it. I have no interest whatsoever in Elon Musk or things that he has to say in a general sense. Not because I'm like better than him or I think like, oh, Elon Musk is so stupid. I shouldn't listen to Elon Musk. I mean, I agree with that statement. But literally just Elon Musk has nothing to say. It's just like, oh, curious, wow, crazy, strange. Like he's a guy that owns a platform that he boosts himself up in and unblocks himself from people from seeing and then like jerks off about how much fucking likes he gets. He's a madman. He bought the fucking Skinner box. The whole fucking site is trash right now. It is the worst shit. And it's not political. In my mind, like I don't know who enjoys this. It's beyond hell site. It's like your For You page. If you stumble out of like, you have to specifically curate on your own shit to look at and constantly be blocking and unfollowing and blocking and blocking and blocking. But even if you do, and you follow any account that gets more than like 1,000 likes per fucking tweet, if you scroll down, it's gonna be porn bots. Crazy amounts of porn bots being operated not even by like anonymous fucking like hacker sites in fucking like Pakistan or something, like just literally some chick. You know who it is? It's Sophie Rain. I kept seeing Sophie Rain being posted under random people's shit. You know what I mean? Like a fucking like a drawing of a fucking space marine, and it's this chick like with a gigantic fucking ass. And it's like, oh man, have you seen her video? And then she posts underneath it, oh my God, I can't believe these leaks are out. I'm like seeing that shit fucking everywhere. Like everywhere. Non-sexual posts. You know what I mean? Literally just fucking anywhere. It'd be a Big Joel is just like, wow, man, fucking tacos taste good. And then underneath it like, oh my God, my leaks are everywhere. Dude, I haven't had that much fucking unforced browser porn since like the late 2000s. Like he just brought back fucking ad spam. Like pop-up ad spam is back and it's just called twitter.com or x.com or whatever. It's horrible. It's horrible content. Horrible content. You know what I mean? It just fucking sucks. And people's browsing habits keep you going back, but like, fuck me. If Australia's gonna fucking cut down on that, based Australia. I mean, we should too, but we're never going to. We have the most robust fucking freedom of speech laws possible, to the point where they've transcended reality and saying free speech can let you do stuff that has nothing to do with speech whatsoever.
then expect to be applied on the platform generally, not just to users in Australia. Do you see how significant this actually is, and how much of a massive, unbelievable overreach in authoritarian censorship control by a corrupt government institution? Now, I have just spent hours reading through the Australian proposed bill combating misinformation and disinformation bill. That thing right there. And to the best of my understanding, this is what it means, as I've described, and I'm going to be going into a bit more detail. Many Australians have been posting online about how much of a threat this bill is to Australian free speech, and they are absolutely right, but I haven't seen anyone actually latch on that the structure of this bill is intended to give the government insane leverage and influence to control the content of social media platforms globally. That would affect every user, not just Australians. And it does this by granting control and oversight over certain rules on the platform. And it is given to an Australian government agency called the Australian Communications and Media Authority, or ACMA. And the ACMA...
Damn it. You're so Australia, why must you fuck up everything? Instead of authority, you could have had it be anything that starts with an E. And it could have been Acme. Acme got me. God damn it, you were so fucking close. Imagine all those Acme jokes people go, oh, you try to make a little fucking Holocaust denial. Holocaust denial's crazy right now. That's fucking crazy right now on Twitter. I just remembered that. You have which way, Western man, like relentless Holocaust denial and anti-Jewish, anti-Semitic hate speech, and then just a shitload of fucking white Jews being like, man, we gotta fucking exterminate the brown menace, bro. A fucking Israeli targeting system, a brown paper bag.
Has the oversight and ability to arbitrarily determine what is misinformation. Because this is one of the massive issues with the bill that many people have pointed out, but perhaps not latching on that this is made to apply.
Australia is the reason that we can't have stim pack injection animations in Fallout? What? Really? Or is it Bethesda being cowards? Not wanting to fucking limit themselves in the market by just reprogramming it without the animations. Can I just take a real quick aside? Australians, you don't deserve video games. What are you fucking people buying? What are you fucking people spending now? $120 for like any AAA release? Okay. $130 to play a game where all the blood is green?
To apply to a social media platform and how it operates in multiple countries.
It's Acme Pro. It's Acme spelled phonetically with an Australian.
Okay.
ACMA.
But it's the ACMA that will determine what is misinformation according to this bill. Okay. And it is very arbitrary with unspecific language in the bill that they determine this. And then if that
Isn't Australia a conservative government anyway? I think Australia's Labour Party just came in kind of hot. If you listen to internet lefties, there is no lefty enough government. I think Australia's government compared to America's government is considerably left of our center. What with their healthcare and a lot of, it's actually a pretty economically like based country. They're pretty solid compared to us. But yeah, Australians are just like fine Labour Party. The New South Wales Liberal government, Gladys Berejiklian.
Misinformation, as they see it, causes harm by some really not only loose and unspecific language, but there are some really concerning specificity in some parts as to what causes harm, which is a really ultra progressive woke interpretation, which basically can mean
What up?
anything that people might deem offensive for
Robin.
any number of reasons can be considered that is significant enough harm, okay, that poses a harm to the Australian people, that then gives the ACMA right to issue warnings and therefore then fines if they do not comply to the social media platforms.
It's the most authoritarian government. Australians don't even know. You don't even fucking have real riots over there if you're fucking hanging out. I bet if an Australian riot is you guys all fucking bring like a sixer. Papa, I going down at fucking riot. I'm going down at fucking riot. I'm gonna have my voice heard. We are cooking out. It's about 4 days. We're in the sun. I did get a tan at the riot. Oh, dude, he was trying to get out. We was trying to get out on the surf because he's so good today. But I couldn't fucking get out on the surf because they had the beach closed because it was like a fucking algal bloom. But it was beautiful red. I wanted to get it for my Instagram. I wanted to get it for my fucking Instagram. So I swam out there and I was up on the fucking top of it. Dude, a fucking real cutter. He was a real fucking cutter, dude. I was on top of the barrel, rolling in, man. Everything was red around me. It looked like I was surfing on the Cranberry fucking Spring bottle. They tried to arrest me, so I threw a riot. I went from Australian just straight to whatever the fuck English. I just like it. I like you guys. I like you. But the authoritarian government's gonna issue warnings. And then fines. You better cut it out. Oi. Hey, you can't post any of that Holocaust denial around here. Don't you do it again. Don't you do it again. Come on now. I already gave you a warning. You did it again. It's going to be a fine next time. It will be a fine. This sounds like the Big Les show. That's how I learned how to speak Australian. You know, like the people that used to learn how to speak Chinese by watching like kung fu videos? I learned how to speak Australian by watching Big Les shows.
So the 3 kind of governing rules that this bill wants to give the ACMA ability to have power over the social media companies is first to basically demand social media companies to create a misinformation code that must then be applied. And I found it kind of odd that they would start with this, because if the social media companies don't comply, or if the ACMA just simply rejects and says it's not good enough, there's another provision that says, well, they can imply what is now considered the misinformation standards, which is determined by the ACMA and some other kind of relevant bodies that are associated with the platform specifically, right?
That's probably fucking fine. Dude, I'll tell you right now. I keep getting an ad for... it's some religious site. I don't know if you guys are getting this too. But I have been getting it since fucking April or March or something, and it's like, oh, the fucking gays in the White House and these transgenders in the White House are stealing Easter for their Trans Day of Awareness. And like there's a community note underneath it that says like Trans Day of Awareness always falls on like this specific date, and Easter always falls on this specific day, which is whatever the fucking like second Sunday in April, whatever, 40 days after 40th day of Lent, whatever the fuck. I don't study that anymore. I can hear the ruler whistling through the air toward my knuckles. But like, yeah, that community note has been under that, but I guess they paid up for their advertising. So I'm getting an ad that literally has a community note that says the ad is a fucking lie again and again and again. When your own like content moderation is like user driven, and almost every fucking post on the site made by somebody who is over like 100K followers, blue checked, getting like sent to me, has a fucking note underneath it. I think that those notes should probably indicate that needs to be removed. That's probably misinformation, and those users that are constantly sharing misinformation should probably just get removed from the platform, because that's bad content. Like, you're just lying to people. You know? Dude, it would be fucking hilarious if they do just do like all of Australia mass bans just any username that has GROYP in it, any of the groip, just getting fucking obliterated.
To determine what would be the reasonable standards that they are then going to impose on the platform. And then there is another rule set that even supersedes that, called the Digital Platform Rules. And in the bill, it literally says the ACMA may, by legislative instrument, make rules, the digital platform rules, prescribing matters. And then it goes on to describe what those matters are. Required or permitted by this, so matters required or permitted by this act to be prescribed by the digital platform rules. And so anything in this bill, okay, that is required or permitted in the act as specified, such as what is misinformation and what is harmful and stuff like that, and how to police it or act in accordance, right? Okay, the ACMA simply has the ability to just make rules by legislative instruments according to their whim that supersede.
So they can propose a law that gets voted on. That's a legislative. It might be different in words might mean different things. All right, I don't know that much about the Australian government, but I would assume that them being able to propose rules that still have to get voted on is like very democratic. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, that seems fine. Also, like, you know that the fucking Republican side of things, Australian Republicans as well, conservatives, whatever, you know that their side is just way heavier on the lies, like as a necessary part. A necessary part of their like argumentative structure is just so fucking lie based that they're the ones that are always the most upset about this shit. If we were lying on the left as much as the right lies, then they would be like, okay, well, let's just take it all out of, like, if it was just equally effective, it would be fine. Or if we were lying more, as like they try to say, it would be way more effective to limit that. You know what I mean? To just strike, like, okay, well, you can't lie on the fucking platform anymore because your lies are highly effective. But like, it's really considered like a blow to the political monster that is Rupert Murdoch's worldwide conservative movement, you know, Logan Roy. That like eliminating your ability to just raw, like off the cuff lie about anything, like egregious, fraudulent, libelous statements that are literally intended to harm people, and like stochastic terrorism and shit like that's like a necessary part of your political instruments is crazy to me. I think it's perfectly reasonable to like, okay, should we all just like outlaw Holocaust denial so that we don't even have to hear about it anymore? You know what I mean? I don't think we need to have that fucking conversation ever again. But now, like, there's people sharing the, like, 29 days, the wrong guys lost World War II shit. I saw that. They're sharing that movie on Twitter right now. Like, Raw sharing a fucking Holocaust denial, World War II revisionist. Hitler was a sad puppy and he got bullied. Ooh, fucking bullshit on that fucking platform. You know what I mean? For people to come consume. And it's trash. I don't understand why you're fucking coming out and defending it. And then again, somebody said this earlier. He is, you know, kind of reliant, I guess, to try to peddle his forced birth fucking lolly enthusiast brand of writing. A bunch of his friends might get kicked off. Imagine if Australia fined you for posting lolly pornography. How fucking based would that be? Wait. That would be fucking fire. Dude, your whole site is gonna get fined if we see any drawings of children getting fucked. It's like $10,000 a day until we never see that again. Would be based. That's called an impetus for change. Twitter's a cesspool, bro. It's run by an amoral psycho who is like one of the weirdest, most racist human beings to have ever fucking existed. And I don't like it that much, and its content's pretty much dog shit. I don't respect Twitter. I don't get on Twitter and like, I'm gonna have a conversation with somebody that's gonna fucking illuminate my mind. I make jokes about like if I was one of the vampires from The Strain, how funny it would be to like fucking hit people with my giant mouth stinger.
Seeds both the misinformation standards and then the misinformation code as codes that the ACMA demands the social media companies to produce. And so if it can already supersede these rules, specifically the misinformation code that the ACMA tells the social media companies to develop, why would they ask the companies to develop a social media code if they simply have power to overrule or overwrite it anyway? My conclusion that I come to would be because they expect that the misinformation codes that they demand the platforms to develop will be even more censorious than the standards that they could impose themselves through the misinformation standards or the digital platform rules that they get to make, which are required or permitted by the Act. So they first want to do it in such a way to get the platform to make a set of rules that they will approve, very likely being even more censorious. That's the conclusion that I come to. And then they will approve those.
My understanding is that the inclusion of speech that could harm a corporation is the bad part, but the rest isn't that bad because that could prevent whistleblowers. Like I Love America, where I can freely say immigrants eat cats. Yeah, I think freedom of speech is pretty fucking out there these days. I mean, to the point where it's not an extreme thing to say. It's not like I'm trying to limit people's ability to even say like racist and bigoted stuff in a banal sense. Like if you like, I don't think that you should be like heavily fined for saying slurs and shit. You should just be like socially ostracized. Have to hang out with other people that say slurs. It's a downhill slope, or you're gonna find some good friends. You know, maybe you can be on the Sam and Nick podcast. But like the sharing mass information and shit, I just don't feel like that's beneficial in any way, shape, or form. You know. And if I think at this point, if it cuts down on whistleblowing a little bit, that's kind of fine. You know, like what else? You can't even hear the whistleblowers anyway. Anybody that's trying to raise like a concern is just gonna get like, if it's legitimate, they're just gonna be lied about. There's gonna be fucking immediately like, you know, Jack Posobiec or something. I don't know why that name always comes to mind. Libs of TikTok, whatever the fuck, you know, like, oh, hey, we found out that this thing happened and it's bad. Like, libs of TikTok, if it's against what they want, will like share that shit. Like, oh my God, is this person a pedophile? They shook hands with a transgender in fucking 1983, you know, whatever the fuck. You know, it's impossible to have whistleblower protections when like libs of TikTok can actively dox and harass fucking Home Depot workers. You know, like the freedom of speech is way too it does not need to be that free. It serves no valuable purpose for me. I don't get to use it to that extent. The people that are benefiting from it are against me, so there's really no reason to have it. There will never be a situation where it would benefit me to be able to mass dox fucking random workers. So like that shit needs to go. The like raw libeling people just needs to go. It's just bad. It's just trash content. And then on top of that, and I know that's like, I guess most of this is, oh my. I guess most of this is, you know, maybe around misinformation and shit, but I think just like the content stuff just needs to get way more strictly fucking enforced. You know, FCC used to fuck people up for like saying damn on the radio. And it kept people from cursing on the radio to this day. Like to this day, people don't fuck with the radio. The radio waves, like your people are squeaky clean. Literally no reason not to do that to major internet companies that have viewer bases in the billions that are projecting into your homes. Like we're talking like, oh, this fucking shit of Republicans being like, damn, Pornhub needs to get shut down because kids can see fucking pornography. Like, dude, a kid can get on Twitter right the fuck now. Like literally right the fuck now and see everything that's on Pornhub. Can find links to fucking purchase pornography if they want. They can watch people be beheaded, shot to death in the street, raped, mugged, everything under the fucking sun. They can see it on Twitter, and there's no push to limit that kind of content. And it's bad content. It's for weirdos and perverts and sickos. You know what I'm saying? It's fucked. Having like a porn side of Twitter that's heavily regulated and shit, okay, fine. I still think that there's better ways to get porn out there. You know what I mean? But like, there needs to be stricter controls on this shit. It just really does. It fucking does. If you're going to be one of those, oh, fucking, ooh, boo-hoo, the kids, think of the kids, boo-hoo, think of the kids types, which I sometimes am myself, bro, you got to fucking limit this shit. You got to cut it the fuck out. It's insane. Adults shouldn't be watching this stuff. And it's beyond just like a spoiler warning. You should be able to never see it. You should be able to click the fucking XC17 button off or the rated R button off. Do you know what I mean? And just never come across that. And anybody that breaks that fucking boundary line gets immediately banned. Just banned. Bye. Your account's fucking gone. Okay? And then have maybe some sort of reinstitution process. But if you're trying to fucking bypass the NC-17 rated R ban to try to post fucking OnlyFans thirst traps and shit on rated G content, you know what I mean? I'm looking at somebody fucking build a Warhammer 40K model and 6 stripes down, it's like, oh my God, I can't believe, like, what would you do with this piece of ass? You should get banned off the fucking platform. Banned. Bye. See ya. Fucking gone. Gone. What the fuck are you talking about? Why? When I'm driving around the radio, like, I wish the radio had, like, explicit lyrics. That would be fucking based for FM radio to have explicit lyrics. Cool. I do not want FM radio to expand its programming content to interrupt the song mid-song so I can hear some fucking ASMR girl fucking coming in my fucking ear bullshit, you know, like, oh, what do you think that is? Come on down to fucking https:// blah, 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 enjoy my OnlyFans today. Fuck no. It doesn't have to be a fucking black or white thing. There are goddamn gradients here. There really just fucking are. And it's weird. It's weird how many people are on his side. They're like, I want this shit to be wide open for the specific things that I want. And then, like, it always is like, what do you want? Like, I want to lie to get ahead in politics. I want people to be able to post drawn pictures of kids getting fucked. And I want to be able to watch fucking, like, racial invective at all times of the day. And I also want the company to not be banned from directly fucking beaming that into the eyes of any fucking person that turns on the program. Like, that's it's psychotic. It's so fucking weird. These people are so fucking weird. They're so fucking weird, man. I can't, like, it's so fucking bizarre. Why is there that fuck? It's never like that many degrees of separation. You know, I guarantee you also is pissed off about this. Rev says Des. I guarantee you has a fucking opinion.
Those social media, the misinformation codes, and then have an oversight over it to ensure that the social media companies enforce it.
Tyler's been watching
enforce those
Artifacts
codes,
Maho.
and if they do not enforce it, this act gives them ability to issue fines to the social media companies. As we see here in under Section 52 of this bill, compliance with approved misinformation code. Once they develop a misinformation code, they expect it must be complied to. And under remedial directions, contravention of misinformation code, ACMA may give the provider a written direction requiring the provider to take specific action directed towards ensuring that the provider does not contravene the code or is unlikely to contravene the code in the future. A digital communications platform must not contravene a direction under subclause 2, and it says subclause 3, the one we just mentioned, that they cannot contravene the direction.
I don't know anything about Australian laws, so I really can't, or how it works. I really can't comment on this too excessively. Maybe Jordy's made a video. Who knows? I'm just going to go ahead and say there's almost no fucking way that Shadiversity is reading this correctly. Because he can't read fucking literal books, novels and shit correctly. I don't think a guy that can't fucking comprehend the subtleties of Elden Ring storytelling is going to be really fucking really adept at picking through fucking, like, dry legal documents, but who knows?
So
maybe it's completely
subclause 3
correct.
is a civil penalty provision. What does civil penalty provision mean? A civil penalty is a non-criminal remedy for a party's violation of laws or regulations. Civil penalties usually only include civil fines or other financial payments as a remedy for damages. So this is kind of almost sounding like an extortion racket at this point. That's, you need to comply according to the standards that we are forcing you to make, and if you don't make them, we're just going to make up our own, and if you don't comply, you're going to have to pay up. And so an action seeking a civil penalty can be brought by the government or by private party in the shoes of the government. So if a platform does not enforce their misinformation codes on their user base, it can be fined as a remedy for damages, meaning if they do not ban or remove content that they have been forced to limit in a code approved by the ACMA, they will be fined. And that includes posts, information made by people in other countries outside of Australia that can merely be seen by Australians. Now, ultimately, do the social media platforms need to comply? Well, if they want to operate within Australia, it seems like, yeah, they would have to comply or face...
Yeah, so, like, if you know a little bit more about coding, you can kind of get around this, probably. I think a worldwide, for the World Wide Web, worldwide regulation and stuff is actually not that bad. There's a few ways you can deal with this. You can just turn off service to Australia. Fuck Australia. Australia can make its own social media with blackjack and hookers. Honestly, people should. We need to decentralize social media a little bit. But yeah, unironically, yes, I agree with the Australian government's opinions on this. I, for a long time, have been getting more and more fucking sick of hearing people with accents from outside of my country have opinions on it. I don't want to hear your opinions on my country. You don't fucking live here. Mind your own fucking business. I don't give a shit what Piers Morgan has to say about the race. Just have him repeat that. Have some American who has a valuable say in the ongoing operations of my country repeat whatever the fuck he has to say, so I don't have to hear it in his goofy ass fucking Hufflepuff voice. Okay? I think that it's completely reasonable for other countries to feel the same way about America. And American voices. Like, literally, why in the fuck? Yes. Dude, China kind of has it fucking nailed down. Like, I don't need other countries bypassing all of the rules I already have in place to have a fucking say in the affairs of my country by getting on Twitter and doing ops, right? I think the entirety of .ru should be banned from the American internet. I don't think you need to get on any Russian shit. Sorry, Tarkov. Move to fucking Ukraine when your country stops being ass. Oh, actually, sorry. I guess I would just eliminate Tarkov because the only other place that could maybe go would be like Poland, and Poland doesn't want them there either. But I think like some sections of the internet should be fucking cut off from other countries, and you shouldn't hear shit from them about you. Like, or it should be heavily regulated. You know what I'm saying? It should be deprioritized. Americans should be able to talk about America, kind of free from the opinions of non-Americans. Mexicans should be able to speak about Mexico, free from the opinions of non-Mexicans. Like, literally, it's just, you need a little bit less. And there should be conversational places where you can kind of reach across the aisle and shit. But this mass access to public opinion from other countries who can be duplicitous actors is actually fucking sociopathic. Because you do have, like, Russia and other countries. It doesn't matter. A country that you like, Iran. Okay? If you fucking like Russia and you want Russia to do Russian shit, Iran can do the same stuff. They can post shit on Twitter as fake Americans and fuck with public opinion. They should not be able to do that. Iran can, any country can do it, basically. Our freedom of speech in our country really kind of shouldn't extend that far. It should get fuzzy once it moves past the borders and starts involving other people. Like, quite literally. It's completely reasonable. Now, it doesn't mean we have to do it, or that it's like, oh, certainly. And it doesn't mean you have to be completely fucking xenophobic about it. But, like, yeah, you should be forced to identify where you're fucking from if you're from outside. That's like, dude, even Poll knows this. 4chan's poll board knows this and enforces that shit so that you know where the fuck people are from. Like, if even Poll does it, like, Jesus fucking Christ. Obviously, you can VPN past it and stuff, but just adding those extra layers is probably a little fucking important. Eliminating, like, literally illegalizing the fucking presence of bots on your program and fucking making it like, oh, you have to seriously not have bots. And maybe even just, like, from certain areas, you have to double, quadruple, triple check. And yeah, okay, this isn't going to be something that's easy to do, but I don't fucking care. There's a reason these goddamn companies have had multi-billion fucking profit caps, and it's because they fucking made just enough of the program to make money off of, and not enough of the program to prevent mass harm for the people that use it. That's pretty much it. It was just greed-based. And that's kind of the thing, you know what I mean? Like, should I, as an American, be able to lie about Australia? Like, do you want that? Should I be able to pay for bots and stuff, or even like if it was really cheap in America to pay like 40 or 50 Americans to make fake accounts, 6 or 7 accounts each, to just continuously post about Australian elections? Do you want me to do that? Should I be allowed to do that to Australia? No. If you say yes, you should fucking consider cutting your toes off. Like, abso-fucking-lutely not. That's psychotic. I would rather us be less able to speak to each other on these platforms than to have that be completely permissible and unmitigated. Like, this shit needs to change. And it should be, if that's the rule that fucking fixes it, where you start just heavily fining people for misinformation and you cut down on the misinformation, at least that's okay. But like, it's insane. Fucking, I hear this guy talk all the time. He doesn't even know. I don't even know if he knows. This is the first time I've heard him talk about Australian politics, and he still has to make it appeal to the world. Half the goddamn time he's talking about Americans and Japanese people and what the fuck is going on in their political climate, with opinions that have been exported to him from fucking America. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally repeating talking points from like Tucker Carlson and shit. It's fucking madness. A lot of .ru sites have been banned in Ukraine for a while now. Based. The U.S. has more Russian influencers than Americans at this point. Fucking, yeah, dude. The whole RT should have never been permitted. RT should have been, like, if you would have just walked into that fucking office and just started firing, like, you would have hit nothing but traitors. You know what I'm saying? Like, talking about we're a softer country these days. I mean, for sure, because there was a period in time where a Russia today on American soil would have just been like okay, where are you going to practice throwing your fucking firebombs? And I don't even give a shit about that. I don't fuck those people. If you work for Russia today, dude, consider yourself fucking on site with me until I die. You're a fucking traitor to my country and a threat to the fucking health and safety of the people that live here. I wish poison in every meal that you eat for the rest of your life. I hope that you die in a gulag. Fuck you, dude. I don't give a shit. Have a polite conversation. Wow, you're really dipping down. Not having the internet be open like a $2 you know what, but also not having it closed off. There's nothing non-Japanese internet freaks love more than talk about Japan. You can pretend to be from Japan. But hasn't there been plenty of good from being able to connect and interact with people from other countries as well? There's been a minimal amount of good. There's been some good. And it's usually incidental. That's kind of the point. Like, we lift that up, but then when you actually look at how much real crosstalk is happening between us and people in other countries, it's actually like pretty light. You know what I mean? Like the actual on the ground reporting from real reporters and stuff here and there is minuscule half the time, or it's covered up by the massive fucking layer of lies. I mean, just really, if you want to make that point, let's talk about Ukraine-American relations. Ukraine is an American ally. If they win or get not necessarily a win, but a good fucking a good amnesty condition with Russia, Ukraine will be an American ally for the rest of time, barring the craziest circumstances, either a full Russian takeover or America turns into something else, or Ukraine just decides to like not exist someday. Ukraine is an American ally for the rest of our lives. That Ukraine is no reason to do anything but fucking be like cool with fucking America. How much information do you actually see, even if you're intentionally trying to get information from Ukraine, about Ukraine from Ukrainian sources? How much? Next to nothing. I couldn't tell you the name of a single Ukrainian journalist. I only know Dylan Burns and a few other people that Dylan Burns mentioned that cover some of that stuff. I think Mercado Media might be one of them. Olivia Scootercaster. Some of those kind of fucking people. You know, it's minimal. How many fucking pro-Russian bot fucking propaganda sites and sharers do we have? Limitless. There's multimillionaires that are fucking like constantly just paying to lie on this program. Like, fucking Russia got busted paying for all of Tenet Media to just basically be shills. Posobiec is still doing it. Tim Pool is still doing it and trying to fucking, like, to wheedle out by just saying, like, it's freedom of speech to be paid by Russians to lie to Americans to affect American public opinion. That is not free speech. It's first off fucking fraud. Second off, as far as I'm concerned, it's fucking treason. Like raw treason. Russia is not our ally. They're not even our friend. Russia is an enemy nation. It has been an enemy nation since 1946. Russia is a fucking enemy of America. An enemy, raw. If America slipped and Russia could take over chunks of America, it would. Like, Russia would conquer Alaska for shits and giggles. They do it all the time. Ask Japan how fucking good of a friend Russia is. They're gonna be like, no, never. Don't trust Russia. Don't trust Russian politicians. They're like literally like megalomaniacal, empirical conquering fucks. The entire goddamn country's leadership for the last 1,000 fucking years has been nothing but pure evil and inbreeding. There are enemies, flat. And like these rules would permit them, permit you to fucking lie. You know what I mean? If you don't have this shit in place, I think you can still get the truth. You can still have like a Dylan Burns. You know what I mean? You can have on the ground reporting and crossover, but like that shit needs to get cut down significantly. Like I don't fucking see anything from fucking Palestinians. Next to nothing from actual Palestinians on the ground. Here and there, a little bit. You know what I do see? Relentless Israeli propaganda. Israelis fucking jerking off about dead people. Israelis fucking crying about one fucking garage getting knocked down. Israelis dancing on the fucking graves of the dead. Fucking jerking themselves off. Oh, America's your best friend. Oh, goddamn, America doesn't know how fucking good they have it. We're their best. Like, I just constantly. It's constant. And I don't give a shit. Like, it's just fucking relentless. And it's because people have paid to bypass it and just lie, even if they were on the right side of history. I don't want you to have the ability to just raw fucking lie to everybody all the goddamn time. Soy jacking over breed in Japan shop. Goddamn, dude. Tyler ignores Twitch chat? No, I don't.
Heavy fines that this legislation, to the best of my understanding, gives the government power to issue against them. And so I very likely see certain platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and perhaps even YouTube to comply. The only platform that I would see wouldn't comply, based on the track record, is X, Elon Musk, where in a truly admirable fight for free speech, he has opted to, versus government interference, remove the platform from being accessible in that country, which is really the result of the government doing it. But that would be the result, where if X will not comply, if this bill gets passed, okay, it would have to pay heavy fines, which I would only foresee must increase to even further or greater penalties, to fully being banned from the country by the act of the government doing it, or Elon Musk being forced to withdraw it out of Australia to avoid the legal disaster that would ensue and going through the courts. The bill also gives powers to have users be removed off social media platforms, as well as content being censored, not limited to Australians, only if the user in question or the content in question poses harm to Australians based on misinformation. And
so are you okay with a Republican administration regulating what you see online? Yeah. Yeah, I know what I'm saying when I say it. Yes. First off, they already do. I live in Kentucky, dipshit. There's no Pornhub here. There is no Pornhub in Kentucky. If you try to get onto it, it's like, hey, they pulled out, right? Pornhub just literally. They just don't air here anymore. Yes, I want the regulation in place, including if it happens to be somebody on the other side of the aisle, for the temporary time in America that always that happens, getting the chance to fucking have some say over the regulation. Yeah, I live in a democracy, so yes. Fucking idiot. What are you talking about?
And here is where it says it in the bill, but it actually says this multiple times, that there are multiple provisions that are justified according to this standard, which is the harm it may cause Australians by the content being on the platform, regardless of where it comes from. Okay? And so under the approval of codes provision, because the ACMA approves the misinformation codes, that
Elon is begging Brazil to unblock Twitter right now. And no, they shouldn't. Because it's fucking Elon Musk wants people to be able to fucking fight for Elon Musk's shit. He wants to basically have an organizational construct that is politically unbeholden to the countries that it lives in. That's obscene. No, dumb fuck. No. It's one of the few things China had right. Yeah, the Great Firewall or whatever the fuck. Yeah. And look how good it did for them too, by the way. You should shut down everyone should have fucking X out of their country. It's an American company. Why are you all fucking jerking your fucking cocks to have an American company run the goddamn social media in your country? Like, are you all that fucking cucked? Like Australian conservatives, Shad, are you that fucking cucked? Just make one up. The fucking source code is basically free now. You can make better ones. Destroy fucking X's stranglehold on interpersonal communication. You should be ashamed of the fact that all of your social media communications in your country happen at the whim of a South African fucking immigrant to America because of a fucking company that was founded in America. All of them. Instagram, fucking Facebook, Meta, Google, Alphabet. Why the fuck do you have to use Google all the time? Yeah, we got fucking YouTube. The YouTube's fucking like already ahead of the fucking stream on a lot of these things. They'll say like you're fucking banned in certain territories because they preempted this. Because the next fucking thing is, yeah, we're gonna kick you out of the country, and the second you get kicked out of the country, the fucking demand for a new system is gonna go up, which is probably what's gonna happen in Brazil. It happened in fucking China. China's got their own fucking social media, and they still shitpost, and you can still kind of like access it and talk to Chinese people here and there. Like, you're not completely fucking cut off from the entirety of the rest of the world. The biggest fucking difficulty in talking to China, if you're an American, is American and Chinese are like two highly incompatible languages. Chinese and fucking Japanese specifically are the hardest language for Americans to learn, and for Americans, Chinese and Japanese are the hardest languages to learn. It's one of the biggest reasons there's not that much crosstalk. These fucking things should be limited. There should be protocols and stuff to bypass it and talk to people. There always will be. It's fucking internet, right? The cable connects. You can connect through the cable. But like, yeah, your own fucking country should have its own fucking internet. Its own internet service. But you have your own internet service provider. Why aren't you fucking mad as shit that you can't get Google Fiber here? You know what I mean? You know how fucking bad it is that Starlink is everywhere? That's horrible. He's trying to do the same fucking thing that he's doing with Twitter. Oh, no, they're going to try to tell me I can't fucking do anything I want with Starlink. But you guys didn't have the internet until I put Starlink over here. Like, dude, the company should just be fucking taxing the shit out of you and using that tax money to build their own fucking infrastructure. Weibo has better things as part of their app, etc. They are that cucked, Tyler. I mean, fucking, for real. It's unblocked now, though Elon sent the payment for the fines to the wrong bank.
That it is enforcing the platform to make, which it gets to arbitrarily choose which platforms needs a misinformation code, and it's the ones.
Tyler, are you anti-porn? What would give you that? What would even remotely give you that thought?
That are a problem, and so I have a feeling that they'll certainly impose this on X, but they might give the ones that are happy already to play ball or already very censorious and stuff like that free pass. They won't need any of this oversight. Well, the ACMA will approve a misinformation code if it satisfies, well, a number of things. But right here is where it talks about the harm to Australians. The ACMA is satisfied that the code is reasonably and appropriate and adapted to achieve the purpose of providing adequate protections for the Australian community from serious harm caused or contributed to by misinformation or disinformation on the platforms.
See, hold on. What's the entire subsection here? Requires participants in that section of the digital platform industry to implement measures to prevent or respond to misinformation or disinformation on the platforms, and enables assessment of compliance with the measures, which is the big thing. That's the big thing. That's actually what's going to kill X. Is X doesn't ever want to fucking let you see what the fuck's happening under the hood, because it will plummet the fucking valuation of that company even further. goes no further than reasonably necessary to provide that protection and there's more. So this is a lot of stuff going on here. These are and statements. If you're in a computer program, these are and statements. So all of these have to be satisfied for this, right? Also, this is the clause applies if you have A, B, C, D. D has all of these subsections. These are all and statements. So this is all required. Every single thing here is required for them to act on this. So this is kind of a cucked law. You have some ors in there. You know what I mean? Like, and or. You know, you have a few stipulations. This is a full all and clause. An all and clause in a contract. So it's got fucking one, just on this page, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 minimum clauses that have to be, or 8 minimum subclauses that have to be achieved in order for them to move ahead to the next point of it, which is a crazy specific action. You know what I mean?
Not on the platforms within Australia. There's no limitation there. Just on the platforms flat. If there is content on the platform, even if it's in another country, that the ACMA determines is potentially or able, to cause serious harm to the Australian community due to misinformation, or more specifically, if the codes that the platforms make do not adequately censor their entire platform for the sake of not even most Australians. Like, this is like most Australians hate this crap. It's the government deciding for the Australians. This is what you think. Albanese is constantly saying, all Australians agree that misinformation is a problem. From you, I might agree with that, but he's not going to censor himself, okay? He's using that as a means for more authoritarian control. You see, I'd like to think, and I know this is for truth.
This isn't even like authoritarian. This isn't remotely authoritarian. This is just a law. This is just rules at all. Authoritarian is like, if you break this, we're gonna fucking kill you. Like, people need to understand, authoritarian governments murder you. That's kind of the point. Not like there's an implied threat 15 steps down the line, which somebody's still kind of responsible for, and then you can all have a conversation about it. Authoritarian governments is like Russia fucking 1962, where someone gets ass mad at you and they drum up fake charges, drag you out of your bed in the middle of the night, and then shoot you behind the ear in the fucking street. It's death of Stalin shit. That's authoritarian governments. This is just a government exercising authority. You know what I mean? And not even that much. It's the lightest shit I've ever heard. Oh, if you do all 16 of these things in a row, all right, you do all 16 of these things in a row, and we catch you, we are going to issue a warning that you stop. Fucking, this is really infringing on my rights. I am panicked. Elon Musk might not be able to share that. Interesting next to Holocaust revisionism, and that's bad. All right, now I know you think this is crazy, but you violated again. We're gonna give you a second warning. This is authoritarianism. I'm being destroyed. Please, Donald Trump, come to America. We need you, Donald Trump. I'm praying for you. I'm using my Australian powers of persuasion to bring you to fucking Australia. Donald Trump, please. I'm on my way. Shaddy. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Donald Trump, the last man of sanity. What's going on here? I heard that you guys had a bit of a problem. Donnie, they're trying to find me. They're trying to find me. That's not fine with me. You better cut it out. Also, I'm giving you your guns back, Australia. I'm giving a beautiful speech in Australia. Thursday at 10. All the people, I don't care who you are, young or old, everybody that comes to the speech, the first 100 of you are going to get a shotgun, a free shotgun, Remington, $375, MSRP, $500. Hope to see you there. It's a big speech, a very good speech.
for individuals, okay, to police them and not news organizations or even, it seems like, the government. Because under this section of the bill, meaning of excluded dissemination. Now, remember that previous part we were talking about that specifically here in the meaning of misinformation in this act, okay? For the purpose of this schedule, disinformation of content using digital...
All right, this is going to be him freaking out reading a law the entire time. I'm good. I think I got what I need. Let's hear the summation.
Does its ramifications to that will affect not just Australians, but it can affect social media platforms globally if they choose to comply. Because remember, as I was explaining all throughout this video, the purpose of this bill is to enforce social media companies to govern and have misinformation codes and standards that they apply on their platform completely. Because any comment, any post, okay, that can be seen by Australians, even if it's made by people outside of Australia, right? If that is capable of causing harm, and we've seen what conditions it considers to be harm in this bill, well, that gives leverage to the ACMA to remove that content, remove users, and issue fines to the platforms if they do not comply. It is crazy, okay? And so what needs to happen is opposition to this. You need a right to your local representatives, even if you're outside of Australia, rights to representatives inside Australia.
What? I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that. He said even if you live outside of Australia, you should write to Australian fucking legislators and tell them you want the law change. Dear whoever the fuck New South Wales, listen, I've been watching the fine internet television show Shadiversity, starring Shad M. Brooks. And he says that you're gonna pass a law that says I can't say whatever I want on my internet platform that doesn't belong to me, but in fact Elon Musk. Every day I like to wake up and watch at least 15 videos of black fellas getting shot to death robbing jewelry stores. Sometimes I watch the same video 15 times. As long as it comes down from the Groiper pipeline, that's what gets me through my day. And let me just tell you, whoever the fuck New South Wales, I'm disgusted by your attempts to try to shut down my access to easy racism. As a matter of fact, I was reading a fine article from Comfy Groip 1488 the other day on how it's a Jewish conspiracy that St. Helens even got hit by a fucking hurricane or wherever the fuck it is over there in North Carolina. And in fact, it's lasers from space and a Jew weather machine that's making it happen. And you trying to take that kind of fine reporting away from, well, not me, but specifically the people of Australia who will probably get this internet service cut off to them is just disgraceful. Go fuck yourself. I hope we conquer you and put you to the sword. Dear, sincerely, Phil Lamonte. That don't sound like Phil Labonte. You probably agree with this. Sincerely, Phil Leotardo. P.S. Not the one from The Sopranos what got his head ran over. It's just a fucking Australian. Dude, Americans don't even know what the fuck to call your goddamn legislators. Just like, so I got a letter today. I don't know what to make of this. Someone from Philadelphia says they don't really like it. They don't really like our law. Oh no. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my God.
Oh, wherever you can find access to heck, even is opposition to this. You need a right to your local representatives, even if you're outside of Australia, rights to representatives inside Australia. Wherever you can find access to heck, even
just think, that's just such a crazy thing to it. What a cunt, dude! Like literally just fucking out in the open with. I want foreign actors to influence my country's legislative process. Like, as far as I know, Australia has a pretty free and openly democratic process. Everything's not perfect. It never is anywhere. But like, hi, I would just like you to fucking write in as a foreign person and influence my country is the most cucked shit I've ever heard in my fucking life. Like, are you a conquered people? Do you want to be dominated? We can just run the country for you. You don't need to be called Australia. We can get rid of your stupid fucking flag. There's more fucking stars on ours. And it just looks better in general. Do you want us to start flying Old Glory? We can make you the fucking 53rd state after we incorporate Israel and hopefully Puerto Rico. And then we can just do all the shit that you want done for you. As a matter of fact, we could just fuck making you a state. We could just make you a non-voting territory if you'd like. We could fucking bend you over, Australia, and fuck you the way that we have American Samoa and Hawaii before they got statehood, and a series of our other territories. Shout out United States, Guam, the Philippines. We could do that for you. U.S. Virgin Islands, not anymore, my friend. We could teach you how to bottom for America if you want. We could make that happen for you. If you're a fucking Australian and you're remotely conservative, I would assume that some sort of nationalism is part of your conservative movement. You're a cuck. You're a cuck and a pussy. And let me just tell you, you won't be able to fucking repel us. We'll conquer the shit out of your country by just paying for it. If you're engaging in this kind of behavior, I can't express enough how disgusted I am in you. As just another nation to nation, Anglophone to Anglophone, you're a fucking cuck. I don't even want to hear anything more from this guy. I've never been more embarrassed by a grown man in my fucking life. Could someone come in and steal my country from me? What in the fuck is this? What in the fuck? Australians staring at or Irish staring at Australia like this. It's not right. What in the fuck, dude? I'll tell you what, we would have won that emu war. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm sorry, Australians, I don't really mean it. I know, like, you guys generally find Shadiversity and this kind of politicking repugnant. But just for any, like, literally have this conversation with me. If you're a conservative, a literal conservative Australian, are you this cucked? Do you want me to come into your country and run it for you? Do you want, like, Americans to come run your country for you? We can. We will in a second. I don't know. Have you guys figured out how much fucking oil you have left under that giant fucking desert? You got a desert. We love deserts. There's oil under deserts all the fucking time. We can try to see if we can't find some. Y'all got some lithium? You got that fucking lithium over there? Let me see them fucking pockets. You just pull them pockets inside out. It's all right. You got America coming up to you nice as fuck in the street. Like 10:30 p.m. Hey, man. Yo, I really like those lithium mines you got. What's up with that coal? I think that would look really good on my neck. I think that lithium mine would look really good in my portfolio, man. How you doing with them native fisheries? You got a tuna industry? I like that. I like that tuna industry you got. Why don't you let me hold that for a second? Why don't you let me hold that for a minute? Jesus fucking Christ, bro. I can't even imagine. Because, like, the conservative party types are always supposed to be the, like, I'm fucking real masculine. I'm a fucking real guy. I'm a geezer. You know? I can't imagine. I can't imagine being that fucking cucked, dude. I would blow my fucking brains out. I swear to God. It's just so humiliating. Could somebody from outside my country please petition my legislators? Bro, you're done. Game over. Sorry. Shadiversity cucks. Shadiversity cucks himself out to foreign advocates. Oh my God. What is the video title? Shadiversity tries to cuck himself to foreign actors. Shadiversity tries to cuck himself out of Australian sovereignty. Motherfucker, bro. Australia has the largest uranium mines in the world. Hey, what's up, Australia? Man, some really good uranium you got right there. That's nice. It's nice. It's nice. Don't you feel safe with that walking around this time of night? You feel safe with that uranium? Why don't you let me hold that for you? Some good shit. Why don't you just let me hold it on? No, it's okay. Let me hold on to that for you. You can fucking log on to X or whatever. Go look at yourself. Go look at some politics or whatever the fuck it is you do. Let me see that fucking uranium now. No, I'll give it back. It's okay. Just let me hold on to you I'll hold on to it for a little bit. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Just let me hold on to it. Westside.